Man, I just seen that Asha Sharman woman that took over for Microsoft for Xbox. I seen that I guess I guess they dropped the price for Game Pass and got rid of Call of Duty. And I guess you're gonna have to. It's not gonna be on Game Pass day one or something like that. I was like, man, I seen that. I just seen it here about half hour ago, and I was like, wow, man, that's impressive. Uh, it's gonna be interesting to see what she does and what they come up with because uh, she, I can't say nothing about the woman, man, because I mean she's coming into a mess. I mean she's coming into a mess, and it gets me. Phil Spencer came into a mess when he came into. It's kind of weird because Phil Spencer came into a mess, and then she's coming into Phil Spencer's mess. And I know, you know, uh, Xbox, Microsoft and Xbox dug themselves a hole. I guess people saying that they don't. I guess people saying they're not buying even the controllers. You remember at one time Xbox used to sell their controllers a lot, because they used to make all these controllers or something like that. But anyway, I just thought I'd drop a quick video. I think this is a win. I really do. I think this is a win. I mean, somebody I seen some YouTuber said that he had a comment on there. I guess that the price of Game Pass Ultimate was $29 and went down to 22, but I mean 22 ain't bad. I mean it's better than 29, right? And then I think there's a price drop on the PC Game Pass too, so you know. And then, Call of Duty is not it, last couple of Call of Duties has not been that good. The last Call of Duty I got was the one where they went off into there was a bomb that went off in Paris or something like that, and then they had to go over and fight somewhere. That was a good Call of Duty. I buy Call of Duty just for the campaign. I don't buy it for it. A lot of people like to play online. I don't get into it. But anyway, I mean, what you guys think? I think that's pretty good. You got to give a woman her chops, man. I got to give her credit for taking over, man. Cause whoo, that girl. She got her hands full. I yeah, I'm just not that type of person that wishes somebody to do a bad job or anything. I kind of feel bad for Phil Spencer, man, because I just think that he probably meant well, but he just you know. Uh, but would here's what I would like to see, and it's not going to happen. And I want you to really understand this. It would be neat that if Microsoft would have a meeting and say, let's see how many actual people likes our Xbox. And let's just get a number. Let's just take a whole year to get a number, see who really, really is diehard, Xbox people, right? I'm a everything type of guy. So, I like Xbox, I like Nintendo, I like Steam Deck, I like PlayStation. So, I'm pretty much all over the place. It'd be nice if they could do that, but they can't do that because they got so much money invested in it. And, at $69 billion, man, and then not to mention all the job losses, man, because, Xbox, I mean, Microsoft and Sony, they are cutting a lot of jobs in a lot of areas. A lot of people's losing their job and companies are getting shut down. Games are that was in development are just cut. So I get it, but man, that woman coming into all this mess, But I wish that I would like to see. It's not going to happen. I like to see Game Pass. I mean, I like to see Xbox just go back to exclusives. You know, I think it would do. I don't think they. I would like to see what would happen if they would do that for a year to see how many people would come back. Now I don't know if people come back because some people say, well, we could come back if they could make some bangers. They haven't made any bangers lately. Although I am looking forward to that, Gears of War, day one that's coming out, and then you got Fable that's coming out. I'm not into Fable, but I hope that does good. I mean, they got some games coming down the pipe, but You know, it would be interesting. It's very interesting though. I mean, I was this is how I was when I was looking at TV. I was like, huh? I was like, wow, man, that's crazy. I said, well, that's a start. You know what I'm saying? It's a start. I mean, gotta give a woman credit where credit's due because she said she thinks that Game Pass is just too expensive. She said that in one of her little posts. Now I don't know if she's trying to, you know. I was looking at that post. It looked like it was a legit post to me because it was like, uh, she just said it was just too expensive. She just said Game Pass is just too expensive. So she dropped, her and whoever's run, their little crew, dropped the price. I think they dropped the price. I think they took $7.99 off. That's pretty slick. That's like see how many people's gonna come back. Cause I was looking at the comments on this YouTuber, and some people said they're gonna resubscribe. So because she took off $7, man. So uh, I mean, the way I'm looking at this, man, I see this as a win. But I ain't gonna lie to you guys. I really do miss the Xbox and the PlayStation and Nintendo. Nintendo and PlayStation is the only one that does that exclusivity. Nintendo ain't doing no. Um, they just making games for They're just making. I mean, you can port stuff over to Nintendo. They'll be like, sure, we'll play. We'll take you some. I mean, what I'm saying is Nintendo is still Nintendo. The PlayStation 5 is still PlayStation. Xbox, man, if they could just make some banger games, man, because their track record with the games is not all that great. Well, they do have a deep library of games on the Game Pass, but I did have Game Pass. That's how I end up playing What Remains of Edith Finch. Um, I played that off of Game Pass, and I end up um, buying that game digitally. I tried to buy it physically, but they want way too much money for it. But that's how I end up, playing What Remains of Edith Finch was off of Game Pass. But yeah, I'm gonna be optimistic on this one. I mean, I think this is a win. I mean, yeah, it's $7 and so much cent a month that she took off, but that's better than what because hmm. I put this video up because I was like, wow, man, because I was sitting there going like this, like, man, that's crazy. Man, she dropped the price on that, and she took Call of Duty off. That I mean, Call of Duty used to be like the creme de la creme, but since Microsoft bought it, they seem like they just I don't know what's going on with them. People didn't get into them that much. But if this next Call of Duty comes out, whenever it does, I have no idea. Uh, I would hope that it would be really good, and then maybe they could sell a bunch of digitals. I guess is that what it is? I mean, if Microsoft is making Call of Duty, that means they probably gonna make Call of Duty for PlayStation 5. So they have to make physicals, and so I mean, man, this is I see this as a win. I see this as a win. I was like, oh, girl, you go, man. I mean, that girl got her hands full, man. This is a woman. Not that I'm saying that women can't do nothing, but I was just saying, dang, girl, man, you coming in behind all that mess. And then Phil Spencer came in behind the other mess of Dom Actress. What was that guy's name? The one that was before him. So everybody's coming in behind somebody's mess. Yeah, I think Phil really meant well, but he just couldn't. He had his chance though, but then buying that company for $69 billion, man, and that was a bust. And then Call of Duty Day One on Game Pass, that was a bust too. I'll be honest with you, I never thought that was a good idea. I never thought that was a good idea. I think he was looking at that as it was going to up the subscription on Game Pass, and it just never flew. And I think Game Pass never hit the mark like they wanted it to. I could see where he was thinking though. I really can. If that thing would have took off like he thought, it could have done good, but it just never took off like it was supposed to. But I could see what they was trying to do. I was like, man, if they could get that thing like a Netflix thing on the gaming kind of thing, that would be awesome. But they never can do it. But I see what he was trying to do. But anyway, you guys, it's just a quick video. I'm surprised, man. You know, I was like, wow, that's pretty impressive. I gotta give the woman credit because she said that she actually said the Game Pass is too expensive. So she dropped the price by $7 and some cent. I guess it's Game Pass Ultimate that she dropped the price on because the one says $29 or something like that. Now she's got down to $22. $7 savings, you guys. $7 is $7, you know. That's a more of an attractive price at 22 instead of 29. You can just say what you want, but you know, 22 sounds way better than 29 to me. Wow, yeah, that's that's a win, you guys. That's a win. And took said they're gonna put Call of Duty on after a year, if I'm mistaken, which is smart. So you have Call of Duty come out. I'm thinking sell it as physical copies and digital, and then wait a whole year and then put it on Game Pass Ultimate. I see this as a win. God bless. We'll catch you next video.